Maybe, possibly. Do we got a video? Maybe we don't have a video. Okay, well, I clicked the video. It didn't work. I'm Molina Mike of Doggin and Show, and I tried to hit the intro video, but obviously that didn't work out so well. I got Michael Panozzo of Birds Digest. Mike, how are you, buddy? Can you hear me, Mike? Mike, are you there? Did Mike's internet
I'm
take a
here.
dive? You're here?
No,
Okay,
no.
you can hear me, buddy?
Yeah, we're all good. We're
Yeah, I
all
don't know if
good.
you froze
I'm
up
glad
on
we
me or
got.
what.
I'm glad we got the video going there.
Yeah, for sure. I don't. Did the video play? If the video played, I never
It
saw it.
it did.
Oh, it did play. Okay, boy.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see it because on my end it didn't show that it even played. All right, I'm Molina Mike. Welcome back to another edition of Dogging It. We're here. We're gonna preview the World Pool Masters round number one. Obviously, you guys know Michael Panozzo, and I got another guest that I'm bringing in right now via the Philippines. The Lion, Alex Pagulayan. Let me see here. Is
Hey,
Alex, how you doing?
hey
if my
everyone.
stuff starts
Hey
working pretty
guys.
good.
Hey Mike. Hey Mike. Hey Mike.
Yes, no, maybe.
Hey
Mike, can you hear me?
everyone. Yeah, thank you guys for
Yeah.
having me here.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
No, it's gonna be fun, Alex. Thanks for joining us. Um,
Yeah,
Hold on 1 second because I'm not sure Mike can hear us.
Mike, can you hear us? Mike froze.
He's there. He needs to reset or something. So you and I'll carry it at the beginning. Bring
All
us up
right,
to
Mike.
date on what you're doing there in the Philippines. You've been playing Anton for the last 3 days. Races the 21-10 ball. How's that gone?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of pool here and there. But for the last maybe 8 days, I didn't play anyone. But recently, in about an hour ago, I played Anton. He beat me 21-18.
Okay.
Um, I played really good. Well, in the beginning, he's kind of scrappy a little bit, and we both kind of in the I don't know what's the right word for that. I think we're like we're a little bit
Right.
jittery in the
Right.
beginning, but towards the end we kick it up a notch, and we start playing pretty good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I got the best of it.
Yeah. Well, you were
Son
ahead
of a
most of
gun.
the match until about 16-16, right?
Yeah, I had a one shot to make it. It was 17 apiece, and then I hooked him behind. I hooked him, and he kicked and got safe on me, and from there, he got away.
Yeah. So
But I still had a chance, but I didn't capitalize on it.
what's the plan now for you? How much longer are you going to be in the Philippines? What other matches you have coming up, and when are you heading back?
I don't know if this is gonna be sound good to a lot of viewers. I'm looking to buy a gun, start shooting everybody. No, I'm just kidding. No. I'm here. Actually, I'm doing a lot of things right now. I've been playing a lot of cards lately, and also been playing a lot of pool and spending time with the family and
Playing the
um,
UK Open?
whatever. Yes, I'm gonna play the UK Open. I'm also gonna play the bucket tournament in about a couple weeks in New
Great,
Orleans.
great, good,
Yeah,
good.
Well,
That'll
I'm
be fun.
I'm I'm sure Tony loves hearing the sound of that. So you
I don't think
they're
so. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna be probably number one, number two favorites heading into the match, and I tell you all this stuff on Facebook and on social media and on YouTube, Alex. You playing more and more just gets fans reinvigorated to watch you play, man. You're always have an exciting style, but it seems like you've been getting back in gear when it comes to hitting the ball, man. Like you're just beating top players left and right.
Yeah, I have the passion again to play pool again. So, um, I really once I'm well rested and my mind is into it, and I'm ready to compete again. So,
Yeah,
I'm very excited for my pool career in the future. So, yeah.
We're all
I like
excited
what
to
I'm
see you playing
seeing.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump on into an event that you're very familiar with, Alex. You played the World Pool Masters a few times, and we brought you in here to chop up round number one matchups. First of all, yeah, how long ago did you play? Because if I remember right, it's probably been a couple of years, or did you play last year since you last played?
I didn't play last year because I couldn't go. They did invite me, but I couldn't go.
Yeah.
Uh, but most of the time, I they invite me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
What?
maybe they penalize me from not to invite me this year because I said no last year. So maybe, but I don't really know.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't really know.
as I was looking up your match with Anton, I was searching YouTube and I started typing in your name. And the first thing that comes up when I type Alex Pagulayan, it says Alex Pagulayan misses nine ball, and it's that infamous shot with Jason.
it,
Uh, Walk me through what was going on in that moment, man. I know it's been a few years now, but it's lived on in infamy.
well, yeah, that was I would I don't think I will ever forget that match. It's in 2017. Actually, there's a hurricane time, and it was so cold, and they don't have a heater in the arena, and at the same time, it was so cold. If you watch, just go back. I think everybody's wearing jacket because it's so cold. But anyway, I'm wearing a lot of warm clothes, but I'm still cold, and at the same time, I'm in a lot of under pressure, so it kind of get uh, synchronized everything all at once. And I mean, despite all this happening, I should make the nine, right? But
You should.
Yeah, yeah,
I should make the nine, but still, I mean, when you don't compete day in day out, this is the time that you're gonna have to pay the price. Because
Yeah.
I mean, pool is not about practice; it's just competing. I mean, it's different when imagine going in a war uh, when I mean, the other side is firing back at you with the real bullets. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I mean, practice, no one fights back. I mean, you just playing by yourself.
Yeah.
So, but this time, I mean, I haven't been in a competition in a long time, and the heat is getting the best of me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
But no, I mean, I dogged it, and there's no excuses. I dogged it. That's the bottom
Yeah.
line.
Thanks for bringing that up, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, it was an interesting.
Asshole. Nah, I'm just kidding.
It was the timing of it was kind of perfect as I was looking up the matches that you've been streaming and yeah, and then of course we're going to be covering the World Pool matches. So let's jump on into match number one, boys. We got the reigning and defending champion Josh Filler up against kind of an older gun, but a guy who's certainly decorated in Niels Fine. Mike, I'll start with you. Give me your thoughts on the match and who you like and where it's going, man.
Well, I picked, you know, uh, going with the favorites, picked Josh to win the whole thing. But Neil's the type of player that's not going to be intimidated by playing Josh in the first round. And the first round's when you might catch someone who's not ready yet. Niels has been playing really pretty well the last, year or so. You know that he's always at the practice table. He's always playing hard. And he's had some real success at the World Pool Masters. He's certainly not afraid of the matchroom stage. Um, and so I still like Josh in this match, but I like Niels to give him a real run for his money.
What
Well,
say you, Alex?
my question is, where do you put your money?
Where do I put my money? I put my money on
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is race to eight. Obviously, if we're gonna put our money, uh, we're gonna have to put our money in the one who's showing result in the last couple of years, right?
Right.
But
Right.
it's hard to cut off Niels. My buddy Neil is fine because the guy is a world champion and multiple champion in so many different tournaments, and one thing I like about Neil, he has a lot of heart.
Yeah.
So if they give me a good enough odds on my money, I'm gonna have to take my buddy Neil. But I mean, if it's even up, I mean, we have to go with Joshua Filler.
Yeah.
But race to eight, I
How
never know. So
I'll kind of equate it to that first round matchup. I think it was in the World 10 ball, Alex, between you and Victor, and where, Victor on paper might have been the favorite given how he had been playing over the last, let's say 12 months. But you obviously being
yeah.
a savvy veteran, do you, where do you look for an edge mentally, or is it just kind of like, I'm going to go play and then whatever happens, happens?
Well, I mean, if the break is very difficult to make balls, I don't think anyone is favorite against me. If nothing goes in the break and we have to push out after the break, I don't think there's one human being there's favorite against me. Well,
I
they
love
can
that.
prove me wrong. I mean, if they can prove me wrong. Play. They can all play me push out after the break. Um, so no matter, I mean, I nobody's barred. I literally I
No
will
one's hard.
play
Well,
anyone
we got
because
you were
we got action already
yeah,
brewing. I
right.
love it. We're
You
and
were
we're,
talking
we're 10
about
minutes in.
yeah.
depending on the odds, you might take Niels or something like that. So, if we talk about odds for the tournament, the odds for Josh Filler are 11-2.
Okay, so
Odds,
that's basically
odds,
like five and a half. Is that
yeah,
what it
five and
is?
a half.
5.5 to 1, yeah.
Meanwhile, the odds on Neil is 25-1. If someone gave you those odds in
25 to
this mix,
1. So
yeah,
basically it's 2 to 1, right?
20,
No, no,
no,
no. 25-1.
25-1.
Five.
So
Yeah,
what
divided
you
by 20. That's about four not
no, no,
four.
no. You risk
Five
100
five.
to win 2,500.
So wait, 5.5 divided by 25. So that's like almost like 4.5. Yeah, I will take Niels if somebody. I will wager $1,000 to get 4.5 to 1 odds against Joshua Filler right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's about
Can I
right.
Yeah,
put this
Going
name? Can I put this in the internet?
yeah.
Someone might take you up on it, and if for that kind of return, it seems juicy enough. Niels, I remember the year that he came back from injury. I think he plays Shane in that
Yeah.
first round and ends up winning. So he's certainly
Oh, he beat
not
Shane in the
afraid to go up
finals, didn't he?
against
Or was it the?
what I thought it was the first round, Mike, in that year wherever
Oh,
he
it could be.
where he
Could
got
have been.
hurt.
Yeah, he came back
Um,
from the
but
elbow.
yeah, but it's he's certainly been in this position before. Everyone's gonna like Josh, especially as he's gotten more comfortable back using carbon fiber. I'm gonna go with the chalk across the board. I'm gonna go with Josh in this first round matchup. But Alex, real quick before we transition over to the second match, how hard is it to go from wood to carbon fiber and then back? Like, how long does it take for you to get back to your game if you make a change like that?
Well, unfortunately, I cannot answer this question because I never went to the carbon fiber yet, so I cannot really give you this. So I I always been a wood guy. So maybe later
Yeah.
on in my life, maybe I will try it. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but I'm not in a
But if
position
it's
to try anything right now, but the one that I really like. So maybe later on, if I'm not in the mission, and then I will try something else. But for the meantime,
if it's
I'll
not
stick to what I have.
Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it, boys.
That's right.
So let's
Well, there's a borderline about that, Mike, because we all,
what do you mean?
especially okay, me, I always trying to improve in some way in some part of my game, but it's gotta be like I don't know the exact word for this, but I think cognitive change.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah.
It gotta be when you're gonna change something. It's gotta be you have to uh, dive really into it, and then make a decision if is it a good idea to change. You gotta have a lot of reason
Right,
for you to
right. It's
change.
got to be
You know what
well
I
thought
mean?
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There you
yeah.
go. There you go, Mike. That is well thought out. That is the exact word that I was looking for.
You can
Yeah.
use that if you
So
want. Uh,
yeah, I'm gonna steal it from you, Mike. But thank you.
so what do we got in match number two?
Match number two, boys. Let's go on over. We got Mohamed Sufi, the guy who came up runner up in the World Championship, versus Max Lechner. Alex, I'll start with you. Have you heard of Sufi? Let's start right there.
Well, I heard Sufi. I heard he plays really, really slow. No, I'm just playing. I mean, the guy. I think is from what I heard and from what I seen a few rocks from him. I think he might be the fastest pool player that I ever seen.
Yeah, he gets around the
Um,
table pretty quick.
yeah, but if I'm gonna bet on this one, I'm taking Max Lexner because I
Okay.
like the way he plays. He's really solid, um, and at the same time, he has a lot of heart, and he doesn't care who he plays. And the way they play the game, if they lock both of them in one room and there's only one person who will come out alive, I think Max Lerner is gonna come out alive.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
taking Max. Well, if they don't like my bet, I'm looking for another few thousand bet. I'm taking Max.
Well, according to the odds, Max would be a 2-1 favorite over Sufi in this match, right? Because Max
Oh
is
shoot, I'm
16 to
not
one,
laying
and
2 to 1. No, I'm one of those guys. I'm a type player. No, even money.
even okay.
I like it. No, Sufi style can be hit or miss, and obviously
Oh
we've seen it hit lately. Because he fires the balls in so hard. It kind of reminds me almost like Omar Al Shaheen, the way that he hits
yeah,
the ball. You know,
yes it is.
um,
I
and
agree.
but like it's exciting when it's dialed in and it's pinpoint and you're hitting the back of the pocket, but when you're a little off, you can kind of be exposed. That matchroom arena with the cloth and the balls and the lights and all that, we obviously saw him do real well in the World Championships, but there hasn't been enough of a resume for me to pick him over my boy Max. I'm with Alex here, but what I love to see is Cinderella, kind of like what Loho some did last year. I would, and I'd love to see if Sufi can follow that up with another run. Mike, what say you?
Yeah, no, it'd be great. It'd be exciting to see him, go a couple rounds deep into this tournament, of course, because he's an exciting player to watch, and he's fun, and he's picked up a pretty decent following pretty quickly. So
Hmm.
so it would be good to see him go a couple rounds deep into this, but we'll see what happens. He's got a tough road ahead of him, starting with Max, and then he'd have to take on the winner of Josh and Niels. So
Has Max played a World Pool Masters before? I don't think he has he?
I don't think he has.
I'm not really sure,
Yeah,
but that is a
I
very
think
good
the only
question.
invitational that he got into was the league, the
Oh, the
PLP,
Premier League, yeah,
Premier
yeah,
League, yeah.
and
yeah.
he did not do well there.
Oh
No,
So
yeah, I love that format. I like that format. You get to
yeah,
play a lot of pool.
yeah, you
do
do.
are you being sarcastic, Alex? Or
No, no, no. I really like that because I think for me, I think that's a real the,
It's a good
uh,
test.
this might uh, sound not bad, but I think for me that's a real tournament.
Yeah,
I mean, for me anyway, because I like to play pool. I like long session. So
yeah,
when I played for the first time, I really enjoyed it because I get to play a lot of pool. I get to play like what 20 something matches. I
oh yeah,
enjoyed it.
yeah.
I
I
bet
enjoyed it every
me
bit of
well
it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only thing that I'll have a question mark when it comes to Max, besides the fact that I think he's a rookie going into this event, is how he'll do when it's like you're automatically in the final 16, and the pressure's already ratcheted up. Like, you don't have a safety net. We've seen him play good enough in big tournaments to get the single elimination, maybe win another round from there, maybe two. But here you're playing monsters off the bat. It doesn't get any easier for him if he were to win, because he'd have to face the winner out of Josh or Niels. Obviously, I'm rooting for Max, but Sufi's always going to be a great story. So I'm looking forward to that matchup quite a bit. But let's move on to match number three, boys. We got Alex Kazakis against Mario He, two guys who know each other real well. They traveled across the U.S. Last year, I think, or the year before, quite a bit. They know each other's game. Alex, I'll start with you, man. Who do you like between Alex Kazakis and Mario He?
Coin flip for me. This is a
Yeah,
coin flip because I know both of them, and they both capable of playing to the max, to the highest level. Uh, but lately, Mario, I think, will get the best of it. But at the same time, I don't think Mario is uh, in a good health in some way. But Kazakis also, I think, is battling with his, um, I would say, his full emotion. I'm not really sure what is the right word, but uh,
What do you
it's
think?
kind of like a mental block, kind of. You know what I
Well, I thought
mean?
he kind of
Though
got. I thought he got over. I thought he got over the mental block when he won the Whirlpool Masters a couple of years ago. Um,
well, there's a problem to that, Mike, because this is the thing. When you win in pool, we have this syndrome that we think we got the world. I think we got it all figured out, but that's that's not really. It's far from the truth.
yeah,
So you become overwhelmed, but we think, oh, I got this now. I don't need to practice. I don't need to change my game.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's what's happening. I mean, when you win, you know the old saying is, when they say success is the worst enemy for success, or is that how it goes? It's the
I think I know where you're
success
going with
is
it.
success is the killer of success. I don't know what's the right term, but
Yeah,
I'm hoping that you guys know what I'm talking about.
I kind of have an
You
idea
know,
where you're going. Well, from the other side of it, Mario He has a ton of talent and has come close in the last couple of years to some titles. What do you think is keeping him from crossing the finish line?
see, this is what I learned from a lot from the, especially for the last couple years. Uh, this is might be implement actually to the person is 30 and above. It's got to be synchronized all together. Your health, your mentally, physically, practice. What else? You cannot just like, you gotta have the discipline to work on your game, work on your physically, work on your like eating habit, and work on your mentally. If there's one missing out of that four, I don't think you can make it. Especially the competition these days, you gotta be 100% uh, in your form, or your physically, health, and
Yeah.
mentally. Even if you have the game, if you don't have that mentally prepared and physically prepared, you're not gonna
Yeah.
win.
how
You're not gonna be successful in this
how does
game.
that physical preparation get you through those tough moments when you're facing adversity out there, Alex?
Well, when you exercise, your breathing, it helps, because when you're out there in the field, you're in the war. The pressure that we get there is like, uh, I'm looking for this word. It's kind of like, it's hard to explain all the emotion, all this jittery and anxiety all at once. So, but when you exercise, you start breathing heavily, and you start like you get a lot of oxygen in your
Right.
body, and your pull all your muscle, it gets to work, and when you're like under pressure, you're already used to that kind of breathing, so it helps. I'm not saying it's gonna cure 100%, but it helps,
Right.
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you go to your diet, that's also gonna help. And you go to your meditation, it's also gonna help. And you
Yeah.
go to your practice, so everything will synchronize. Everything needs to be synchronized
Yeah.
for
I'm
you to
Yeah.
I'm
compete
a
and to play at the highest level.
Yeah.
I'm
Agreed.
a believer, and I'm not playing anywhere near that kind of pool, but just the energy that I have when I'm eating healthier, the energy that I have when I'm exercising in the morning, and how my day is affected mentally, and just I'm very there's no cloudiness there. I'm feeling good. I'm walking good, and whatever adversity, and I feel like when you're working out, you break through those tough spots when you're trying to just do more and more. It kind of just builds you up and gets you tougher. I love that insight, Alex. For me, Mario is kind of parallel to what Alex was a few years ago. Where he's been good enough to get in a position to get into a final or get into a semifinal and then get the lead, but then comes up a little short. We haven't seen him, cross over that line like Alex did a few years back, where he, beat Shane in the World Pool Masters. But there's a lot of similarities for me in each of their games. I think Mario for me is playing a little better pool right now, but I don't know how he's going to be doing playing better pool on this stage against a guy who he knows very well. I would pick Mario in a betting match, against Alex in this particular matchup. But maybe it's just a bit of bias there, because when it comes to game, it's more just splitting hairs than anything else.
Well,
Yeah.
when we talk about Mario and we talk about, the little mental, finish line that he can't seem to cross, if he beats Alex, you look ahead to his next match, and it could be the, it's going to be against the Albin Kachi winner. And he
Oh
could be
god.
facing Albin again, which would not bode well for Mario based on our history, right?
It'd be poetic.
Yeah.
It would set up for a great redemption story, because he was up on Albin, I think, in the European Open, ends up losing in that semi in a bit of a heartbreak, where I thought he was in complete control and was breaking better than anyone on that stage for my money.
Yeah.
But we got Albin versus Kachi. Obviously, Albin's 9-ball class is it has been remarkable over the last few years. Kachi coming off of that World 10-ball victory, he's obviously going to have a lot of confidence. Mike, I'll start with you. Who do you like in this matchup, and why?
I like Albin. I just think that this format and at this stage and the single table matchroom arena, things like that, that's where Albin seems to do his best. Um, and so, if I had to roll the dice here, I would definitely go with Albin.
What say you, Alex?
Oh, if I'm gonna have to bet my life, I'm gonna have to bet on Kachi, because I really love
Really?
Kachi the way he plays. Because I really like his demeanor to the game. The only thing that I don't like about his overall game is not really, he doesn't take care of himself physically. So it's gonna get him later on in his life. So, but if he gets on in a proper diet, in a proper exercise, I'm taking Kachi against all of them, because
Yeah,
I really like,
he's
except for one kid, which is gonna come up later
okay.
on. So
Okay.
I will
Yeah, no,
mention that.
Kachi's a big boy, and he was in ripped shape before COVID.
Yeah.
COVID really hurt his training regimen and things like that. He
I
got a little,
wouldn't. That's all BS to me. COVID that hurts everybody. No, it. I mean, if you really want to, you can just exercise no matter what. You can just
yeah,
mop the
you're
floor
right.
for 10 hours. It doesn't really matter. When we all trying to excuse COVID and this and that, but that's not true. It's all. If we don't like to do it, we make excuses. If you like
Yeah,
to do something, if we really want it, we find a way.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Discipline.
Yeah,
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 discipline. Yeah, for
discipline
yeah.
sure.
is the king.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I I agree with you 1,000%. You know, one
But
thing for me. Go ahead,
go
Alex.
ahead.
No, no, no. Go
No,
ahead.
no, I'm just saying. I mean, I was gonna say something about Albin. Albin has always been my boy. Also, I love the way he plays. I mean, I really, and especially now these days, his safety game is becoming better and better and better. And yeah, I really like this game.
Yeah, he's a good player.
I love that you brought up his safety play because one thing for me, for Kachi, that got him through that world championship run this year was his safety play, his kicking, his jumping, his non-offensive skill set. For me, Kachi was just remarkable, and I didn't realize that he had, like that kind of talent or that kind of execution. And I don't want to just equate it to a great run because he's been there before, right? He's won a world 10-ball championship prior. We know what Albin can do on a matchroom stage with 9 balls on the table. It's no secret, right? And I think this is about as good a matchup as you can get. Obviously, that first round matchup with Federer and Shane, we were all looking forward to. But for me, outside of that, this was the one that I really had my eye on. I think both of them are coming in hitting a pretty high gear right now. Um, eh, I'd probably go with Albin just because of his experience and how he can execute on the matchroom stage. Um, Kachi can impose his will on you if his break is down. Um, but
I think
yeah, I
I
don't know.
think we should have wager a little bit here. Both of you taking Albin, I'm taking Kachi. But
Uh,
this is
I,
a coin flip. This
Yeah,
my I think it might favor Albin in a little bit, but if somebody go out of line, they give me a buck 50 to my a dollar. I'm gonna have to bet
fire. He said fire
just
it.
just a
yeah.
thousand bucks.
Yeah, at a buck
Yeah,
50 to a buck, I think I'd
yeah,
probably go with Kachi too.
Alex,
yeah.
you've
I
seen
mean, I mean,
how different is
go
this
ahead.
break? How different is this break, Alex? With this 9 ball on the spot, using a template to get consistency or to find any kind of rhythm.
Well, the best break I've seen so far when it comes to nine ball on the spot is FSR.
Yeah,
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Francisco
yeah.
Sanchez Ruiz. Yeah, that's it. So I mean, but everybody breaks good on the template nine ball. It's just a matter of you getting a shot after the shot. I mean after the break.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but the most consistent break I've seen is FSR.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's
So
probably why he's
they're gonna
having the
have a
year that he's
problem.
had.
With,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
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 We're halfway home, boys. We got the next round matchup, and the graphic that I have up is for the guy who was there but who's no longer going to be there. It was the matchup that we were all looking forward to seeing: Team Q Tech versus Team Q Tech. Feder Gorst versus SVB. Mike, as we know, Federer's no longer going to be playing in the Whirlpool Masters after he pulled out due to being able to get his visa situation handled. So now he's going to be replaced by
No, is that true?
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
that
yeah.
is
Federer's not playing. He didn't get a response from the UK on his visa application in time. So they were,
That is baloney. I mean, I'm sorry.
yeah, no,
I'm not gonna say
it's a
it.
real shame. Everybody was looking forward to seeing him there, and everybody was looking forward to this matchup. This would have been a great
Are,
first
are
round
you
match.
are you sure? Are you sure Shane didn't UK embassy or UK immigration not to give Federer's
Pretty pretty
visa?
sure because they replaced Federer with Kwok from Vietnam, who's beaten Shane the last two times he's played him. So I don't think.
No.
they
Oh,
did. Let me
So
ask you,
now,
Alex,
well,
who
that's
so
a
who
now
would
it's
you
going
have
to
shame.
be.
taken?
Cool. What? I'm gonna have to take Federer Gorge.
Yeah,
Really? Federer versus Shane, you
The
would
reason,
take Federer?
yeah, the reason for that is because I'm a very observant person actually, and especially when I really like, you know, I shouldn't say, yeah, yeah. If I really like the person, I mean, I like to watch pool, and I see and I always look for weaknesses and strength. So I think mentally Shane would hate playing feather. For me anyway, I
Yeah,
mean the way I see it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of players they don't like to play feather gores for some reason. Just because I think
They got a pretty good. I think I
feather
know the
is one
reason.
of the well he's very robotic and it looks like he's never gonna make a mistake.
Yeah,
But people little do they know we're human. We all make a mistake.
yeah,
We just
yeah,
gotta find it. And I mean, one of my strength in pool is not my talent, not my uh, skills, not my the way I think. Well, yeah, there's something got to do the way I think. My talent is to find my opponent where I'm gonna beat him, where I'm gonna take him, which part of his game that where's his weaknesses. That is that is my talent in pool. That's
yeah,
one of the reasons why I become one of the most successful when it comes to gambling in pool. Just because if you give me enough time to play my opponent, I will try. I will figure it out how to beat him.
yeah, yeah.
You
Interesting.
know,
I love
so
that.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
Mike,
not.
what say
I'm
you?
not. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, no, go ahead, Alex.
I'm not the most talented out there. I'm not the smartest guy out there. I just I'm that particular aspect of my game. I'm really good at finding my opponent, where I'm gonna take him,
Yeah,
where is gonna be my edge
yeah.
for
Right,
me.
right.
Where is the best way? What kind of game or what kind of style for me to beat my opponent?
Yeah,
So
it's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
What say you, Mike, about the matchup that we are going to see? You know, obviously we know Kwok has had Shane's number the last few times that they've played. Who do you like and why, Mike?
Well, I like Shane in this just because I don't see this guy beating him three times in a row. You can have someone's number, but it's not going to last forever. Um, and Shane plays well in this arena, plays well in this format. Uh, Clock is going to have to get to a nice early lead against Shane to have any shot to me. So I would, you know, I'm like Alex.
Mike,
If I have to fire at this, I'm going with Shane.
Mike,
Yes, sir.
you're not going on the road with me. You're not betting my money for me. If if my man get beat twice in a row, we're gonna have to pull our bet back a little bit. we, can, we cannot
Well,
keep going. I mean,
well, I'm not.
I love
I might have. Yeah, I might pull back a little bit on how much I'm going to fire, but I'm still going to fire on Shane
oh, I'm not gonna fire any of mine until it gets, it gets
until he
that
shows he can win.
mentally and
Okay.
is
you're right. Nothing lasts forever. I mean,
Right.
on paper, we're gonna have to bet on Shane. But from my experience, I've been in this game long enough. I already see it. It's happened to me before. Once you get beat a couple times, two, three times, it gets stuck in your head.
It does get in your
does
head,
it?
right?
That's what I was going to ask you, Alex. How much does that sit with you as a guy who got beat a couple times in a row by someone?
Well, I already beat that for me. It doesn't matter how many times the guy beats me. All I know, every time I'm out there, new day, new life, new beginning. Just
Yeah.
play your game.
It's the
Good
That's
way you
it.
have
mentality.
to play it, right?
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I learned about from Anthony Robbins, listening to him, he says, past doesn't equal the future. I
Right.
really love that quotation. So that's one of the most powerful quotation I ever heard. He's right.
Focus on
Well,
forward, man. Focus on forward. He
that's
is
it.
right. Absolutely.
There's there's not. I mean, we don't really know what's gonna be next, right? So if
Right.
we
Right.
keep thinking about the past, we're in deep, deep FUCK. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well,
You
I
can't get consumed by the past for sure.
you got a
no,
guy who's won the
no.
World Pool Masters in two times in SVB. Obviously, he knows how to get there, but it's an interesting first round swap for him because he had just faced Federer at the Derby City in the final, where he ended up losing. But we know what Kwok's done to Shane over the last few times that they've matched up. I think this is
Yeah.
like the name for the name factor. Shane's going to be a favorite. If I could get a couple of games, I'd probably take Kwok, and I'd be glad to bet it up because
Oh.
that to me is as safe as can be.
For me right now, if somebody gives me $1.50 to my dollar, I'll bet right now for $1,000.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how the matchup goes. It's a great replacement. It's a little bit of a letdown because we all wanted to see Federer, but nevertheless, we're gonna have a great storyline jumping into this first round. Moving on, boys. The next one in that lower part of the bracket is two guys who have just as well a history.
Let
Jason
me see
Shaw
this one.
versus Copenyi. Back to a juicy matchup.
Ooh.
Coase had Jason's number the last few times they've matched up. Mike, I'll start with you. Who do you like, my man?
I like whoever Alex likes.
Ah. Well, you know what? This one I'm gonna break it down for you guys.
Okay.
Okay. If Copenyi uses the same equipment the one he uses 5 years ago, I would bet on Copenyi any day, anytime. Because he's one of my favorite pool player. I mean, if I'm a young kid, if I'm gonna idolize someone, for sure is one of them, Copenyi. Not
Yeah.
only that, he's a good looking, very nice guy, very composed, very relaxed when he plays. He has a lot of heart, very talented. I mean, the guy has it all.
Yeah, he does.
So
He does.
yeah,
Yeah.
physically, mentally. I mean,
What changed?
if
What
I'm
changed,
gonna,
Alex?
I just didn't. I just don't like. I don't know if this is a good time to say it on TV, but nothing against his sponsor right now. But I think his skill might not be suit for him.
Yeah,
So
it's taking something away from his game.
well, just because I already know what it feels like. I played a, l- a lot of cues. I tried. I would say I tried like in my lifetime over 50 cues.
Yeah.
But there's one particular cue that you're looking for that you cannot trade a car with it. You know what I mean? The cue
Yeah.
has to be like it's like uh I don't know if this is the right word, but it's got to be better than your wife. Did I say this?
Well,
You know what I mean?
if you find the right one, you got to stick with it, right?
No, you don't have to stick with it. Well, you should, but you always look for another cue that somehow
My wife's gonna love
this.
that
Yeah,
analogy.
this is gonna be a great reel. Yeah.
I shouldn't say this is not gonna be like the same as when you're married. Uh, you always look for another one. Maybe you'll find a better one, right?
Oh, there you go.
But you
Okay,
always keep that one no matter what.
to go back to, yeah. I think I could
That
sell it
that
on that.
could relate to husband and wife actually.
Yeah.
But you always keep the one you have, but you always look for another one. That
I think I can sell that at home.
Yeah, that'll go real well.
Honey,
Yeah.
Alex said that.
No,
guy. Uh,
this is a great first round matchup, boys. Jason, um, Jason has come up, a little flat on matchroom stages. For my money, the
Yeah,
expectation for him is usually playing on the last day, or if not playing in a final or bust. And I think it's fair to have that expectation for him. He seems to be more kind of carefree, which I can appreciate. You know, where he's not putting pressure on himself to perform. And he's had success lately. You know, we see that picture of the international, and it's going to be tough because not only has Cole had his number, but then coming up short on matchroom stages in the past.
Yeah.
I like Cole in this spot. He seems to be catching more of a rhythm, whereas post COVID he was knocking off the rust a little bit, kind of getting back in competition gear. Whereas now it looks like he seemed to be a little bit more dialed in and is only getting stronger. I would take Cole in this early round matchup. It would be a little bit of an upset, but it's about as close to a flip as you can ask for. I feel like also,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
But
yeah, oh yeah. Jason Shaw is one of the most I've
without a
ever
doubt,
seen.
yeah.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely,
and this is Royce to eight, boys. This is the one that we can't really put all our eggs in one basket. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
you know
without a
what I
doubt.
mean. So
Moving on, we got a gentleman who I had never really heard of except for
oh
maybe once a couple of years
yeah,
ago in Zhang, a Chinese player who's won the All Japan against a kid who is about as hot as a pistol right now in Victor Zielinski. Mike, I'll start with you, man. It's a bit of an unknown here for a lot of people,
Yeah.
but what do you
Zhang.
like?
Zhang obviously is like you know the flavor of the day as far as someone that you don't really know a lot about, but has huge upside, has made some,
Yeah,
has won some big matches, things like that. I think that this is a little different stage for him. He's certainly not going to be hiding from anybody. There's one table, there's television cameras on you, and you're going to be right there.
right,
So I'll be anxious. I'm looking forward to watching him play. Victor, we know what he's been like in the past year, two, almost 2 years. But this has not been his best stage either. So,
right.
this is going to be an interesting match. I just hope that they both play well. If I had to, fire at it, I would. I'm going to tease Alex and say that I'm going to fire on Victor because I know Alex is going to go with Zhang.
well, I don't know much about Zhang,
No.
but all I know, if he won the All Japan, is that what he
Yeah.
won?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and beside that, in China, they take the game serious.
Yeah. They
So
do.
he's probably he's probably taking precaution to all of his arsenal. He's trying to improve that day in day out. But he's up against one of the most probably I might be biased here a little bit. Probably the most talented young pool player I ever seen. I really love his
wow,
game. He's one of those kid that doesn't take. When you watch the kid, he just plays the game. He's not. He doesn't look his stand. He just plays himself there, and when it feels right, boom, he fires it. He has a lot of heart, and and uh, and he's willing to learn
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever it is. So I really love this game.
Yeah. He's great. He's a great
And
young player.
if I'm gonna have to bet my money, I'm gonna have to bet on him. And about when you said Mike, when he says I have to correct you a little bit there somehow. When you're a kid, you said earlier that this is not a stage. I think he's in that stage yet that he's still trying to find himself.
Yeah.
And no matter what environment there is, but I think he did already find himself. I think he's already uh, to win any major event, any tournament that he plays in.
He could well.
But
Yeah.
we all know you need luck to win the
Yeah.
tournament.
Of course.
So I think he's already up there.
Yeah.
He's one of the elite.
Yeah.
I think for me anyway. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd
I
I'd
could be wrong.
agree. I'd agree 1,000,000% with you, Alex. I've been saying it for the last couple of years that this kid's coming and he's here. He's arrived. He's coming off a win, I think, in another matchroom ranking event out in Europe, the Mez event, if I'm not mistaken, where he took first place. I think he beat uh, Pius, I think, in the final, if I'm not
Labotus, yeah,
mistaken.
yeah,
Yeah. But Victor for me, it's very interesting because you know he can snap off an event and look completely dominating, and then the next event,
Oh yeah.
it's like where did he go? You know,
yeah.
and
Well,
And
okay.
this is one of those events you can be
Let
out
me
of really quick.
explain.
yeah,
Well, let me explain to you guys something. Okay. Like I said before, success is the killer of success. When you win at such a early age, we think we'll figure it out until we lose again.
right.
And after we lose, that's the time we realize, oh shoot, I'm not ready that I think I am. I mean, like I still need to learn. So the
Yeah,
more you lose, the more you learn.
yeah,
But if you're one of those person, even if you win and you think you still need to learn, and that'll be a different story.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think the kid's more than capable
right,
of
yeah.
handling it and processing it and turning it into nothing but positive, even whenever he faces adversity. Victor seems like that kind of
I
mentally strong talent. Um, this is
agreed.
this is very intriguing because it's an unknown versus an upstart. But also someone in Victor who, like Mike said, maybe hasn't necessarily had the most success on a matchroom stage. This could be a bit of a of
Mm.
a of a trap game, so to speak. If there's someone who I'd pick in this field to kind of have one of those low ho sum kind of runs like they did last year, it'd be Zhang because I don't know what the hell to expect from him. But at the same time, Victor has the tools to go all the way here,
Yeah,
so
he sure
it's
does. Yeah,
it's completely tough. But I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, I'm gonna stick with the kid. I like his game. I like his attitude. I like him when he's ahead. I like him when he's behind. And I'm gonna be really keeping my eyes on this one from start to finish. So,
yeah,
um, but it's not gonna get any easier for him, even if he wins, because if he does, he's gonna be facing the winner out of Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, who's obviously won everything on earth in the last 18 months. And his
Mm.
first round
Mm.
matchup is going to be against James Dodong Aranas out of the Philippines. Alex, I'll start with you. Who do you like, buddy?
Well, obviously we like FSR, but Dodong is used to be one of the kids that I adopted about 10 years ago. So as we speak, the one who took care of him is in my pool room right now. I asked him to take care of him. So I known him since he was a kid. There's seven of them. He's one of them, and Joan Chua is one of them also. But this kid, I like him the most because he's a very nice kid, very talented, um, but he doesn't have the mindset to become one of the best. He to order for you to be uh, one of the best in this game or one of the elite at this game, you need to do all you need to enjoy the process. You need you cannot shortcut. There's no shortcut in this game. You need to uh, play in day out. You gotta practice your mind. You gotta improve the way you think. Everything needs to be synchronized all at once. If you're missing one part, you're gonna be a good player. You're gonna win one tournament here and there. But to be one of the elite, one of the best, you gotta practice. You gotta put everything together.
yeah.
There's no other way. There's no other way.
Do do you think James has that killer instinct, Alex?
He does, but he doesn't have the one thing missing from him. I think is the one he's lacking is dream. Like you gotta who do you want to become? What is the main purpose here? Why do you want to play pool? You gotta set goal here. Without this goal, I mean it's a bit useless because you're trying to shoot something that you cannot see. How you gonna hit the target if you cannot see? So that's what
I
is
love that analogy.
lacking. That's what is lacking. You gotta set goal. What is the reason why you're playing pool right now? What is the main goal there? Who you want to become? Without that, it's kind of like useless. So,
Yeah.
You you mentioned how great Francisco's been breaking the balls. Playing 9 ball with this format. What does James have to do in order to steal a victory here?
well, if James be himself, Francisco will be in big trouble.
Elaborate on
He's
that for me.
not. Oh yeah, if James is into like his mindset is just to beat the guy and he wants to win, Francisco doesn't have to like it. And we all know, yeah. I'm just, but
Yeah.
I mean, if I am I gonna bet on it? No, hell no. I'm not gonna bet on it.
Uh,
Like I said, if you can't beat him, join him. But I'm not gonna bet on this. I'll leave this one alone. But Francisco is one of my boy, but I love to see James win. That might be a little biased, but I know Dono when he was like 12, 13 years old. So
Okay.
um,
Mike, what say you?
Well, I've liked James since I first started seeing him, a few years ago, and he's got huge upside, and it's a shame that we don't see him in the states, like we were hoping to more often. But I do think that he's got huge upside, and he's one of those guys who's got to get over that next step too of putting it all together in a couple of big matches like this and showing that he's got the mentality to match his talent, right? So hopefully he can get there. If again, I'm with Alex though. If I have to fire at this, I'm firing FSR all day.
let me tell you guys about what we've been talking about. You gotta put it all together. Uh, okay. From I'm gonna make an example out of myself. For years, it felt that like I was done. I'm I'm all washed up. I actually believed it in a short period of time until I changed the way I think. The first thing, uh, one of the reason why my game changed is first thing I asked, okay, if I'm gonna listen to everyone, they're gonna dictate what's my future.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
screwed. I'll be FUCK, right? And I asked myself, okay, if you're gonna continue this game, this is the exact word I asked myself. What is missing? And then I went from there. There's a lot of things missing.
But
The first thing that I go ahead.
no, I was gonna say most players don't have that kind of awareness, or maybe they don't want to face that kind of reality, even if it's staring them in the face. Alex,
Well, this is everybody's different. If I'm doing something, I'm this person. If I'm doing something, I want to be either the best or one of the best. Uh, the one I'm doing, right? And if I see myself just playing and just trying to get by, I'm gonna quit the game. And I when I watch a lot of kids these days, I'm mesmerized. Like I couldn't believe the talent these days now. But the other question is, I ask myself, in my heyday, could I compete still with these players these days? You know what my answer is? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So,
but you
hell
backed it up,
yeah.
man. You backed it up,
Because
and it's not easy to do. You know.
because till to this day, I'm still looking for a person that could try to outmove me. But I still had that going for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So, uh, so right now, and I ask myself, what is missing? There's a lot of missing.
But
And but first thing I realized, for you to think better, you gotta feel better.
yeah,
That's the one thing I realized. So now, what do? I took care of my diet, and I start feeling better. What do? I start thinking better. What happened? I start feeling better, and then what happened? I start
Playing better.
playing
Playing
better.
Yeah,
better.
of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
One hand
So
washes the other.
now everything, if you find the one particular answer to one of your questions, it all be gonna be synchronized to one another.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. Here is the kicker here. Okay, you start feeling better. What do? You gotta stick with it. You gotta have the discipline to keep doing over and over it so you don't have to think about it.
Yeah. So it becomes second nature. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Don't get me wrong. I'm still, you know, fall off the wagon here and there, but it's still
You're
get
human.
back on that
Yeah.
wagon
Yeah.
because we're human.
Yeah. Of
We
course. It's
just
not
keep
easy.
going forward. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. For example, I'm here in the Philippines. When I'm in the United States, I don't eat rice. Here, I eat rice every other day. God damn it! Oh, sorry guys. Excuse my language. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you gotta, you gotta have this discipline. You know, I'm not sure if it's Brian Tracy or Mark Twain who said it. He says nothing works without discipline. Oh, that's Brian Tracy. That's Brian Tracy. It's got to be Brian Tracy. Nothing works without discipline. So we have to have this one three ingredients
Yeah.
for us to become successful. We got to have the discipline.
Well,
Cool.
this is a great opportunity for James, and when he's right, his 9 ball game, and I felt this a few years back when he was making his way to that final of Derby City where he lost the Sky some years ago. But I thought his 9 ball break with the cut was probably top 3 in the world. You know, he hasn't been here on this
Yeah, he's
stage.
one of the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, for sure. And he hasn't been here on this stage in quite some time. But I remember, a U.S. Open some years back where he's facing Niels on the TV table, and he was just dancing around that table, just making it look real easy. The pressure was just completely off his shoulders. If he can play free, I agree he's going to be real dangerous and a tough out for Francisco. But the problem with Francisco is it doesn't matter where he's at. He's always got a shot because if he's down in the match, we've seen it time and time again. One opportunity, he can make up a deficit and make up some ground with that break quick. He's extremely dangerous. He's the best player on earth, at least on a matchroom stage, over the last 12 months. And this is going to be quite the test. I tell you what, guys, I'm real excited for this event. I appreciate both of you guys for coming on with me. I want to get your picks, and then we'll transition over to Mike here for just a second. But
Yeah.
Alex, who do you got to win the event overall, buddy?
Well, I'm taking Zielinski.
Taking Zielinski.
Oh, I like
All
it. I
right.
like it, man. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm taking Zielinski.
Mike, who do you got, buddy?
I'm going chalk. I'm taking Josh. I just think that this is a good situation for him.
Wow. Well, not
I
really
like
going on
his.
to
I
much.
like his. I like his.
Lock artist. You're a
Yeah.
lock artist.
Yeah, I'm a locksmith for sure. Well, I like his side of the bracket too. I like him getting to the final.
Oh, I mean,
I
the
like his
kid's
side,
probably
side of the bracket
right
for sure.
now. I mean, out there, talented has got to be.
Yeah, yeah.
He got this category.
Both
Who do you-
both
He's the
great
best
picks.
talent.
Who do you
Yeah.
like, Mike?
No, those are both great picks. I'm gonna go with. I don't want to pick chalk, so I'm gonna go with a bit of a dark horse, if you can call him that, out of this field. I actually would have picked Victor, but since Alex took him, I'm not gonna co-sign it. So I'm gonna go with Mario He. I think he's gonna get over the hump. I think he's finally gonna get a W. I'd like to see the Pan to get
Not
there.
a bad pick.
You know,
Not a bad pick, my
hey,
friend. Not a
listen.
bad pick.
If I'm just looking just solely on this format and this break, I think outside of Francisco, when Mario's right, Mario's got the second best break in the world. So, but anyway, Mike,
All right.
Mike, get us out of here, buddy.
Well, no. Before we go, I do want to ask Alex. Yeah, I know you'll be heading back to the States at one point. You're going to UK Open. I know you've got a lot of things that you've been working on. I mean, one of the things I think that's gotten you back interested in the game is you've been more interested in yourself as a brand and social media and building a product and things like that. I think that's all kind of, you talk about everything being in sync. And I think that's all been part of the equation, right? Is this, development of the Alex brand again. So you're building out a YouTube studio in Toronto, right? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're trying to. Actually, the whole plan is to build the studio in Las Vegas. But little do we know, my buddy Greg, my business partner, found out that I need a proper visa
Oh,
for
right,
this
right,
kind of
right,
matter.
right.
So now everything changed. So now we're gonna have to do it in Toronto now.
Okay.
So I'm very excited. One of the reasons why I'm being passionate in the game again because of this brand
Yeah.
and to what we're doing. I think I can give value to a lot of fans, to a lot of people. So
What are you going to do? Are you going to do
I'm
things
very
like
excited.
online training, things like that?
Well, what that's one of them for sure. Second thing, I think this is the one of the most I'm excited about. We cut a lot of videos. We took a lot of videos of mine, my one pocket match, my rotation match, and we edited it. And then we all edit the one that uh, one of the cool shots or one of the I can give some insight.
Insight.
Why
Yeah.
did I play the shot? I'm gonna do a voiceover
Nice.
and what went through my mind and why did I play the shot despite of there's a lot of things could go wrong and yet I still play the shot. So I'm gonna walk through it and hopefully I can give some insight to a lot of fans or for to a lot of fans who wants to improve their game.
That's cool. It'll be. I mean, you'll have a ton of
Yep.
traffic because everybody loves following Alex,
Without a doubt.
you got a
Yeah.
lot of knowledge and insight and a great way of great charisma for delivering that. So I'm going to do the pitch for you. I'm going to tell people look for that,
All
and
right.
you look at
Uh,
pagulayan.net/brand, and you will be able to keep up
yes.
with
Please
Alex
go out there
Pagulayan and
and
his products.
subscribe and sign up.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
This is a big part of what's going to get more fans interested in the game. It's the engagement, it's the delivery, it's the
yeah.
charisma. Like Mike said, you don't realize what you're doing for the sport overall by doing stuff like this. Guys like you, guys like
It's not.
Federer, it's going to create waves in the industry, man, to get people more excited of watching pool.
Yeah, have fun doing it.
It's not only that. I'm also doing. There's a lot of product these days,
Yeah,
and I'm also gonna try and explain about, for example, Q a shaft. Why people using the carbon shaft? Why people using the a regular wood? And which one is better? When it comes to better, it depends who uses the equipment.
sure, sure.
And I can also explain what the queue does and why this queue is better to one in a particular environment, particular place, and why tip is this one and this one because I tried them all,
Yeah.
and then I'm there to explain
Well,
why this one is better there's one tip particular. Hybrid Max is one of my favorite tip in the world, right? But when I go to Las Vegas, I hated it
why?
because it's so dry.
Oh, too dry. Yeah,
It's so dry, and I miss Q a lot.
yeah,
But if I'm playing on the Derby, I'm playing Hybrid Max all day
yeah.
Well, don't give
because
away
it's
all the tips.
oh, I'm just saying it's one of them. It's
Yeah,
one
Yeah.
of
yeah.
them, right?
No, I think.
But anyway, yeah, yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them for sure.
Go
So
sign
I'm
up, you
very
guys.
excited to.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, for sure. Go sign
please
up, you
sign up,
guys.
guys, and then
Alex, we appreciate you making
sorry.
time for us. This has been a lot of fun. Mike, you as well. Thanks for
Yeah, sure.
help us out. Alex, good luck out there in the Philippines. We look forward to seeing you here in the States at Buffalo's, and safe travels, my man.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Mike's is that makes sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Mike and Mike. Mike's.
Mike, and
But
Mike.
anyway, thank
There
you
you go.
guys for having me here. Thank you, Mike Panozzo, Mike Molina. Thank you very much, and all the
Nice,
fans
bud.
for listening to my BS. Thank you guys, and I love you all. Peace.